You are now being tuned into the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We are heard out through the cosmos and all the way out to the observable universe.
Yes, you are listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show on this Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday Night Live here on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. Yep. We rock it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, let us know if there's a mothership brewing. Yes, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and like us and subscribe to us on our other social media platforms. You can be sure to follow me on my TikTok and YouTube channel, both labeled The Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. Yeah, we'll be starting in just a couple of seconds. I'm getting things set up, and trust me, we've got a hot topic of discussion tonight. Ooh, baby, baby, baby.
Now, you are tuned in to the coolest talk radio show around. We rock it out all the way to the cosmos, and yes, even to the observable universe. You are now tuned in to the Cool Show. Now, without further ado, the man that exhilarates nothing but absolute coolness, your host, none other than Brand.
What the fuck is going on here? I want to know what's going on, and I want to know right now. I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately. Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Yes, thank you. This is your host, Brent, speaking. And I am your host here on the coolest of the cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Thank you for tuning into the coolest of the cool, the Cooley Cool Show with your host, Brent here, kicking it live on this Saturday night. La baby. So, we rock it coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, let us know what's going on. Let us know if there's a mothership is down there. So, if you haven't already known, the topic of discussion for this amazing podcast is alien mothership or massive deception. Now, first, I'd like to just thank all my listeners for tuning into here. And if you're new, be sure to like and subscribe and follow me for some more other hot topic discussion. So I'd like to thank all my listeners, all two of you. Thank you. So just as I had said before, the topic of discussion is alien mothership or massive deception. We're going to get down to the Franks and Baines. All right, get right down to the topic of discussion in reference to this. If you haven't been following the news or following any space news or in general the calamity that's been going on, I'm not making this shit up when I tell you. You know, I'd have to be kind of insane too. But we're going to just talk a little bit about this and just get it out there so that way people can understand. So, we have a source from the space news articles and also from the mass media news. The Pentagon has came out and stated, and I'm not shitting you, has came out and stated just on Thursday, March, an article stating Pentagon UFO chief says alien mothership in our solar system, possibly. Oh, nilly with the dilly. Yes, indeed. There's a little nice caption picture that shows the alien spaceship hovering over the Pentagon, right in the little center courtyard area of the Pentagon from the aerial pictures and scenes. So, there's been a lot of speculation talk, a lot of space nerds going crazy about this. They're starting to get the little biz about alien life form. Oh, ET's coming to visit. Oh, Billy. You know, once again, I have stated, and I've said this on my podcast previously, if you follow, I've always said, I said, you know what, the month of February, we had things kicking off with balloons, and unidentified, objects getting shot down, spying on places and areas, And now I said, watch, what is March going to hold? What new alien talk is there going to be talking about? And apparently they're starting out in the month of March hot and heavy, rocking it. They're just beating out the bush. They're just coming out in all types of calamity with this talk about the mothership might be in our solar systems, possibly. And they're saying it's a Pentagon UFO chief. Somebody high ranking up at the Pentagon is saying this. So we're going to read a little bit of this article. And you can take a gander as far as, what you think on this. So it says, there is a possibility that extraterrestrial motherships and smaller probes may be visiting planets in our solar system. The head of the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Research Office noted in a report shared Tuesday. An artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth. An operational construction not too dissimilar from NASA's mission. Says by this guy, Sean Kirkpatrick, director of the Pentagon's Anomaly Resolution Office, wrote in a research report co-authored by Abraham. Okay, so it's make-believe fiction. Chairman of Harvard's University of Astronomy Department. Okay, so going along with the make-believe session. Okay, going along with the make-believe, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I said, start having authors being able to try to pitch their sales pitch into the possibility of certain things that they, are trying to sell you on certain objects, a certain, it just starting to get kind of weird or statuesque, so to speak. I mean, we're starting off hot and heavy like this. Is this the land of make believe? Yep, Timmy, I believe it's the land of make-believe. So we're going to lead a little bit more into this article to kind of let you know what's happening. It says, this is Kirkpatrick, who was appointed as director of AARO when it was founded in July 2022, previously served as the chief scientist at the Defense Intelligence Agency Missile and Space Intelligence Center. The AARO was established to investigate unidentified objects of interest around military installations, according to Pentagon press release. The other guy, on the other hand, gained notoriety when he proposed our solar system had been traversed by its first extrasolar visitor in October of 2017. At that time, the Pan-STARR telescope in Hawaii detected an object moving at a speed that caused some scientists to suggest that it's originated outside our system. The object's orbit also hinted at other forces besides the sun's gravitational pull influence in its movement. Scientists dubbed the object that's what I can pronounce from it. The Hawaiian term for scout, which these scientists offered in their research paper as an example of possible mothership with probe capabilities. Oh man, this is wow, just fucking wow. So, oh my goodness. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about now. The Pentagon wants to start talking about, motherships and small probes that have probably coming from the mothership that's, doing the George Jetson type thing. And they want to go ahead and say this. Granted, I'm going to let you know that anything that the government tells you or anything that the government does say in relation to aliens and things of national security, they're not going to tell the truth. And if you believe that what they're pitching, this sales pitch to you, trust and believe that they're lying to you at every corner, at every facet, at every end. Okay? Why would the government of all, the Pentagon, come out and say, oh, yeah, there's a possibility that there's a mothership that's floating around our solar system, and this is unidentified phenomenon, has other smaller probes that kind of floating around, and just out there, for the hell of it. Yeah, sure, pal, sure. Gonna go ahead and believe this malarkiness, right? Don't know what they're pitching, but I can tell you what they're pitching. And I said it, if you listen to my podcast. If you listen to my podcast, you spread it to your friend. You tell him, hey, this guy, Brent, on the coolest of the cool, the Cooley Cool show, he's talking and he's telling the truth about, yeah, they've been pitching the sales pitch about space programs. Because obviously money is not dried up, but they want to allocate the certain resources and funds to space programs because people are not really heavily invested in it anymore. People don't want to really invest in it because, think about it. I mean, when you were a kid and you were hearing about, we're going to have flying cars, we're going to have spaceships and all this stuff because you've seen movies and TV shows, you're kind of like, well, that's going to be really cool like that. When I get older and grow up, we're going to have this shit. But in reality, when you come down to it, you're like, oh, that shit ain't happening. It's the truth and nothing but the truth. But, it has to be fielded by the minds of many of those individuals pitching you a sales pitch. And the sales pitch is a very good one and a very deliberate one because they're doing it all for what? To get your money. Yes, they're getting to get your money so that way they can fuel their agendas and paint the pictures for other fat wigs up in there to have tons of money to control the masses of millions and millions and trillions of people. It's the whole entirety. That's the whole truth in it. I've said it from day one on my podcast. I've said this whole thing about, we're talking about aliens and travel and spaceships and this and that. It's all bullshit. Now, I'm not saying traveling out to space, I'm not saying the ISS, International Space Station, I'm not saying rockets going up in outer space. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is the obvious nonsense of, we'll be able to travel the light years, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. It's not happening. Why? Does it really make a difference? This is first step in space exploration. Really? Because we're pretty fucking slow in that aspect, but whatever. And they're like, we're going to learn about, there's so many things out there in space. Yeah, really? Okay, sure. But hey, I've said this before. There's a lot of deception out there. Tons of deception and a cornerstone when it deals with space stuff. And they're selling you a pitch. I mean, look at the base technology that we have to date. I've actually expressed this on my previous podcast about how they have augmented contact lenses. Now, this program is apparently, it's been around for quite some time. It's been around for about close to probably, at this point in time, 10 years or so. But many people don't really know about it, except for people who are in the tech industry who work very extensively with this type of technology base. Basically, you put a contact lens in your eye, it's controlled by a server, and you can see things in 3D space that which an obvious person can't see, but it's controlled through a computer set, which that projection is actually through a monitor where you can see things in 3D space. And they record that and they send it out that way. So you may be like, man, they're seeing this and they're picking this and everything that. Yes, technology based on stuff that is fictional, and when people talk about CGI and all this stuff, that shit is starting to integrate into the world of reality because they're going to try to fool many people now of reality-based situations. So basically, if they can incorporate with technology-based of fiction and incorporate it into the world of reality, which we live in, I hope that we live in, that way you, the people, cannot figure out the difference between it. And that's what is getting to the point. Technology-based systems are really getting to the point where you are probably not going to tell the difference between what is real and what is not real. Trust me, we're being programmed by certain things that are shown on television. Like, there was, I think it was a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. Remember, everybody was so hot topic and talking about as far as the Pentagon's going to release information on whether or not UFOs exist and blah, blah, and all these nerds were all up in arms like, yeah, we're going to find out finally, man. You tell us that ET exists. Yeah, man. And I said before, they're going to give you the general fucking answer to the question that people want to know. They're going to give you the generic, and they did. They said, we cannot confirm or deny because we just don't know what it is. But we're not going to say it's alien because we just don't know what it is. It's just going to confirm not, right? They gave you the general answer, which is what I had said they were going to give the entire time. They were going to say, yeah, he's out there from this blah, blah, and this blah, blah. No, they're going to say any of that. Why would they? They have no reason to. Keep going. And then guess what? Everything started to fall a little wayside a little bit. No one started caring about the space programs and was dealing with the space. And then there was a mission to there's like a new thing. There was this, we're going to send another rover out to the land on Mars. They're sending rovers onto Mars, right? Sending it out there. Ooh. So you send a rover out to Mars. Okay. Alrighty then. Another one. I guess we need to upgrade. Because if you notice, the first rovers kind of started off small. Now they're sizes of goddamn fucking big ass fucking SUV. Mm-hmm. But they're not near each other, by the way. They're actually spread out a couple, maybe 100 miles away from each other because they can't be near each other. The last one they put up there is because they apparently need to dig. About like a couple meters down. I think it was like 16, 17 feet deep. Because they need to test the internal temperature of Mars for some odd reason. Yeah, we need to know the temperature of Mars. It's going to help us understand things. Right, gotcha. But tell you, they're still on us on this. And then, and before then, it was about a year ago, before the whole COVID thing kicked off. Then there was a talk of people like, people were like, we're going to go storm Area 51. There was talk about that. Remember, there was people talking like, I want to know what's going on in Area 151. And the military in the United States had told them, says, don't you come down here or else you're going to get your ass handed to you. They didn't confirm it was Area 51, but they said, don't be coming to this military institution or your ass can get handed to you. And then it's supposed to be like a mass, like bum rush, but no one showed up at the door. Now, not sure why people didn't come, but it made a lot of hysteria where people were talking about it. It was in the buzz. And it got people thinking about space. That there must be classified information. Obviously, there's classified information there. But they're probably thinking, there's alien stuff that's there. So it fills the minds of space people and all this stuff. Then you turn about months fast forward from that. The Virgin Mobile CEO, Richard Branson, he apparently travels in space on a Virgin Mobile light aircraft. Now he's flying and I'm out here in space now. He's flying in zero G gravity. He's not really left the atmosphere. All right. He didn't leave the atmosphere. He got to the last layer of the atmosphere, probably. If you look at the video footage, you can find this on YouTube because they're going to just plaster that way because they're going to say, that's just pushing the agenda. That's what we want done. And if you notice anything and you pay close attention to it, they're just in a regular small aircraft. The two pilots, they have oxygen masks on, and they're in jumpsuits. The owner, the billionaire, he literally has jumpsuit on, and he's floating in space or floating in the zero G gravity with some chicks. If you're a billionaire, you got to do cool. You know what I'm saying? You're a billionaire. Handle your business. You know what I'm saying? And then it switches on to what I talked about before. There's a group on YouTube, very popular, have 58 some million subscribers. And one of their guys gets a trip that's being funded by a space program that wants to push their agenda out to the masses of millions of people to let them know, hey, look at what we're doing. We're going to give this team a blank check if they, market it for us, that we're sponsoring them. and they take a trip that they think they're going into outer space, but they're not. Just going into the last layer of outer space, where they're going to experience 0 G gravity for approximately about 12 minutes or so. And they detach off the rocket, and the rocket reverse thrust lands back down here to Earth. And the space capsule, like I said, hangs out there for 12 minutes or so, letting them experience thing. And people are like, oh, we're in outer space, but they're really not, because they're wearing jumpsuits. Regular jumpsuits, no oxygen mask, no helmets, no nothing. Then they come back, land down safely, and, have a big old, oh, yeah, I can't believe it. But in the meantime, when our space shuttle program, and when we went to the moon, and we went out to outer space, those astronauts, real astronauts, were wearing what? We're wearing full spacesuits along with helmets and the whole 9 yards. You seeing the deception? You seeing the deception being played out right in front of us? Yes. Oh, yes. It is a deception. A mass deception. So, and into concluding with that, what I'm just telling you that is they're fooling you with this. And then we get on to the talks of alien sightings, alien visits, people being abducted by aliens, and X, Y, and Z, E equals MC squared, and other craziness that's going on into the local genre of news. Then they have where, beginning of February, the Chinese had a spy balloon that traveled across the United States and Canada, where it was spotted and had cameras and sophisticated things on it. And it got shot down because eventually they wanted to go to Myrtle Beach and check out what Myrtle Beach was doing. They had pictures before actually booking, on Booking.com and making its reservations. It got shot down. It probably didn't get the full booking of everything, but they got probably maybe enough to figure out, okay, well, stay this hotel there. So that got shot down. Then there was like 3 other occurrences, or 4, and then 2 of them got shot down, and then they said there was another one, and they couldn't cap it, and they couldn't take it, and it just vanished. And, like I said, that whole week period, there's people who was, oh, I see this and see that. People's fat baby grandma's ass was seeing a whole bunch of shit. Everybody was on the UFO craze. They were saying, they're looking out the door, oh my God, there's a spaceship. And then people were saying, oh, the clouds, the things are lighting up in the sky. It's making a magic show. They're like, it's changing the sky from this and that. And I had previously said it before, so whoop-de-fucking-do. Every time especially with that incident where the clouds are lighting up and changing, I'm like, what's it doing? What's the one thing they have all in common? Please, lady, what's the one thing I have all in common? It's that it's always cloudy. It's not hard to pull off a fucking, hocus pocus magician act when you just send it above the storm clouds, the heavy clouds, and then you just start doing a little laser light show. People like, oh my God, look at all. Yeah, they're doing all eyes without understanding. Yeah, that thing that's doing the light show is above the clouds, because clouds are so high to a certain point. And if you get high above that, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, because the people down on the ground, the surface, are not going to tell the damn difference. No, not. And like I said, I talk about freaking aliens and abductions, things of nature, and I've made a very high note on this. I said it's always funny how these alien abductions tend to happen to these prominent people, these scholars, the elites of the elites. They'll happen to them when they're like, oh, I can't believe it, I was abducted at night, and I've seen an alien that visited me, and we had a conversation, and they took him up to the Mothership, and they did experimentations. It's always some type of experimentations, because the aliens apparently have gotten their medical degree from Harvard, I'm assuming. And these, like I said, there's all these times when they get abducted, these individuals are prominent people of society, highly credible, have, doctors, have intelligence, they're highly educated. And when they come back after being abducted, they like to tell their stories. And people are pushed out, and they're always writing a book about it and getting paid off their book sales and got to make a profit of it. They constantly keep telling people this shit. And, oh my gosh, it just keeps going on and on. And in one video that I had watched where the lady was talking about, they said it was the most accurate of all accurate accounts of an alien abduction. And the one was apparently the alien was at the foot of her bed, and her husband was sound asleep in a deep sleep, and she was awoken. She couldn't move, and the alien, who was about 3 foot, 4 foot tall, looked at her with big head, bald, always like I said, always bald and big head, big eyes. Looked at her, and the alien told her in some form of telepathy, said, "Shut up." Mm-hmm. The alien told her to shut up. So the alien could not only speak our language, but he understood what the meaning of "shut up" was to her. Just the comedy, the calamity keeps going. And I had also talked extensively about how there was a show called Ancient Aliens, and how the show talked about they might have come from Mars. There's life forms on Mars, and they were talking about all this, that, yada yada. And on their show, they had these people who were talking, they were interviewing, and they all had pretty much like PhDs, and one was an author, and I said, what they're doing is painting a picture of credibility. It's like, these people are prominent, these people are highly educated, these people have money, these people are contributors to society. There's no way that they can possibly fucking lying or faking people out. All right? Like I said, painting a picture of credibility, so that they get people to be like, well, there's no way they can lie. But if you ask a person from the ghetto or the hood area if they've encountered, you'll probably find almost barely to none. And if you were to have somebody from the low areas, low income areas, the hoods, the projects, the ghettos, the broke down trailer homes, things of that nature, those low common areas, and you ask them the same things, and they were like, oh, I did say something down there, and it was broad. Oh yeah, man, it was right there. You'd probably just be dismissive of what they were saying. Reason why? Because you'd be like, they're not credible. There's no way. They're probably drunk or high or whatever. Not listening to them, but you'll listen to this person over here who eventually is trying to get his book deal signed and send his book out to get made so that people will buy it, so he can get paid, or she could get paid off the sales of their books. Beyond maybe little Dr. Phil, go a little more Oprah, have an interview where they're making sessions about this, talking all the way, just every single thing. And then now we have this shit. This utter complete nonsense. The Pentagon says there are motherships, alien motherships, in our solar system. Possibly. So they use the word possibly, because once again, they cannot confirm or deny, but yet possibly means they're making shit up. Because obviously they need more money to create certain things, to do other things, to have that money allocated. Because when you get people invested, it's like, oh my God, there's something going on. I'm going to devote my money. Or there's some other shit going on to divert your attention. Let's just say there's a conflict going on in Europe. Let's see. Ukraine and Russia are having a war. Not to mention there's conflict in Palestine and Israel that's still continuing on to this day, though they don't want people to know that's true. And let's say there's an issue as far as what China and the U.S. are talking about, and China's been saying that they want Taiwan back for some odd reason. I don't know. But then there's tons and tons of conflict that's been going down in Africa, in like South Africa parts, and no one's talking about that because I guess it's a third world country. They don't have money, so they're not caring about that. But they're going to care about Europeans' problems, Europe's problems, i.e. Ukraine, because they have money, and they're going to care about that. But like I said, it's to divert probably our attention from shit that's going on around the world. That's pretty much why it is, why they want to talk about this, while also gaining some more money. I tell you, man, shit. And if you think I'm bullshitting you, And you think that I'm talking crazy? Well, well, if you look here, this is called the Certron. Certron, CHRON.com. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Hold on. I gotta take a quick swig of my water. So, this website, like I said, I just found this. This website, this article came out today, March 11th. And it says, and I'm not bullshitting when I say this, okay? This comes from Sharon.com, the news and space article. And it literally says this. Gigantic Valentine's Day asteroid could strike Earth in 2046, NASA says. I'm not making any of this shit up. This is people writing this shit, okay? It says a 160-foot wide celestial object currently tops NASA's impact risk list. So, a newly discovered asteroid prepared to ruin Valentine's Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're taking your woman, your guy, your girl, whatever, out to dinner, be assured that 2026, it's going to be, 2046 is going to be ruined because a fucking asteroid's going to hit Earth and it's going to ruin your Valentine's Day plans. So if you plan on freaking, having that little heart shape and some rose petals at the foot of your bed, for your lady, your guy, it's not going to happen. Asteroid's going to fuck that up. All right. Not only is the dinner bill probably going to fucking shake your pockets, but a fucking asteroid's going to shake your room too. So, says which tracks potential collision with celestial objects, blah, blah, fucking blah. Dubbed in 2023, DW has 10 predicted close approaches to Earth. Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. This is retarded. It's just, like I said, this is just... And this was posted on Twitter. This is not that I didn't make this shit up. Okay? I didn't make any of this shit up. And look at this. Here says, we've been tracking a new asteroid named 2023 DW that has a very small chance of impacting Earth. So now there's a very small chance of impacting Earth. But it's going to be out there. Often when new objects... So let me tell you. Is any of us going to remember that, hey, I think there's an asteroid supposed to be coming down at Valentine's Day? No, I think pretty much the only asteroid's going to happen is some person probably losing their shit because they had a fucked up Valentine's Day in the near future. I don't know. But, man, I tell you, the whompers that we continuously keep getting in reference to all this insane thought process. And I have this one article here, and this is from March 1st. I didn't chance to read it, but this is from March 1st. It's NASA warns a budget challenge in year ahead. So this is from March 1st. This is an article for that. It's a space news. So if I'm telling you this, and then I've already told you certain things about what's going on with the space programs, i.e. asteroids, i.e. UFO, i.e. all a bunch of bullshit, okay? Then that tells you that there is a budget problem where they need more money for whatever reason it is. And many people are putting on the social media, TikTok, with videos talking about, oh, aliens, this, that. And many people have thus said, if you have not known already, Project Blue Book, I haven't really read it. I've heard pretty much certain stuff about it. And the way it states from the Project Blue Book is pretty much on the lines that the government's plan to stage a fake alien invasion of sort of speak, or alien contact of sort of speak, to where it gets the massive millions involved or in a belief to certain things. And when this happens, people will just forthright just come with everything and just be like, oh my gosh, I take what they say for heart and for real, and they will run with it because of this. And it's always been like this. Tell me.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money,
Yes. Jing, jing with the bling, bling, bling with the jet up. Telling you, it's all fueled by this. Everything is fueled by this. And if you don't believe me, look at the signs, okay? I put it this way. If you wanted to find out the origin of, let's say, the traces of this or that, or find out who might have done this, you can always follow that trace to wherever. You can always follow it. And it will have an end to it, right? But when you start following the patterns of money that's connected to all this shit, all this space stuff and all, trust me when I tell you, this shit is so tied in with so many different fucking organizations trying to get money for whatever the hell they're doing. It is insane. Like, you don't even know what agencies or governments have their hands tied into this. I mean, look, they're already telling people at this point in time about, they're saying possible motherships, alien motherships in our solar system. Okay? And once again, we've been having sightings of people saying, I think that's an alien. I think that's an alien spaceship. I think that's an alien spaceship. But at the same time, when they go to look at these alien spaceships, with all the technology we have, the HD quality, for some odd damn reason, we can't get any clarity on what the shit might look like. Can't get it to focus in, right? Can't get it to focus in. You know. But we'll be saying, look at that galaxy Andromeda. We know, we can see from the fucking Hubble telescope, and with it looking all out to the observable universe, we can see all the galaxies in the entire observable universe. We can see with them. We can see with colors and what they look like. We know what our own galaxy looks like, right? But for some odd fucking reason, we can't clear up the picture of, a possible unidentified flying object in our airspace. Yeah. Sure. Like I said, okay, it's like the Wizard of Oz thing. Oh, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Don't worry. He's not trying to fool you at every acid avenue. He's not trying to deceive you. There's no way they can try to fool you on some bullshit. So, and come to another end of another wonderful Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool show. Yeah. We're going to keep posting. We're going to keep post on this. Okay. We're going to keep watch on what they're talking about as far as the Pentagon talking about the mothership. All right. Like I said, I don't know. If there's space, like I said, I do believe in space, but at the same time, man, come on. There's a hidden agenda for all this shit. And they're trying to sell us on some wolf tickets. Oh, oh. So, if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and like and subscribe to me on my other social media platforms. You can follow me on my TikTok channel and YouTube channel, both labeled The Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me on Instagram at Brent_the_champ. You can also follow me also on my other podcast sites. You can follow at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. We rock it coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica and you're listening to this, let me know if the mothership is around there. Alright? So, you're to hear live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Take care. Bye.